So, yo, this is Chris Gotti Lorenzo and my partner, Don Dinero.
Mr. Money for the Gringos, que vola.
Que vola, Mr. Money. That's it. Dinero is money, so I know what he's talking about. But, yo, this is Giving Him the Business, and we're back again. Happy to be here. Another great episode we're about to share with you. Definitely. You know what I mean? And I just want to tell all the fans out there we are growing. We're over 250,000 streams right now and growing. Everything's moving great. I appreciate everyone. And it's nothing better. It's nothing better as a person doing this content, and I'm sure Dinero could say the same, that when people come up to you and say they love the podcast, yo, this is great. It was so informational. I learned so much. All of those things, man. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please, we're just trying to keep this party going. That's it.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's again, when we continue to see how we've, how we're growing.
Yes.
One fan at a time, one stream at a time, one like, one subscriber. That's what it's really about. Like we usually say, don't panic. It's organic.
That's right.
But now getting to where we are here today, I know there's a lot of things happening.
Yes.
For all of us, but something really dope and special is happening for yourself, brother, and basically everything that's tied into your guys' legacy, the Murder Inc. documentaries,
man, on
making
BET.
a little bit of noise on BET in the sense of
5-part series, man.
Yeah, where people,
it's a lot of information, just watching it, and I didn't watch beforehand. I watched the first 2 episodes, just watching these episodes as they go right now for the first time. Again, it's very, let's say, informational. It brings me personally right back to certain times and eras of things that transpired in there.
I think it's that.
And the way Michael J Payton, who's a guest here, the director, incredible job you did, man. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Putting it together, the production team, they did a great job, man.
I mean, again, as I sit and I watch, and I think when the first episode came out second, I think the kids weren't in college yet at Z. And I try to give them a nostalgic perspective of what not just you guys were going through, the state of hip-hop was at that time and how you guys were able. So it's an interesting story how it's told, how you guys come in and out, and you see your sisters in the teen, and it's shocking to see that you guys used to film stuff back then when they were young, and you see that.
He was on it early and wish we would have did more. I mean, Glenn, he has a crazy story that I didn't see told in the documentary. There's so many backstories to Murder Inc. But Glenn Williams, he's the guy that I passed on all of the
footage.
Not footage, the responsibility to control the footage, to get it.
Okay.
He was an intern, and I always try, and if people want more, I try and give them more. And his story's crazy. He came in from North Carolina. He was originally Queens, but he was in North Carolina. It comes down because a guy named Darnell Nichols, which is not in the story, and I know I gave it, but Darnell Nichols is actually the reason we was brought to trial. He gave a grand jury testimony because he got caught by the feds with the Sky-Tel pagers. He was turning them on and charging people every month or every 3 months, come in and then turn it on, so you didn't have to pay that monthly bill, and he did it cheaper. He would hack them, but that's a federal offense.
Right.
He was homeless when I met him. He was working for Street Team. All his clothes was in the bottom of my drawer. I would come in. I would usually be one of the first in the office and definitely the last to leave. And then I leave from the office to the studio. So I go, and one day in the morning I come in and I see all these clothes in my drawer. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who's living here?
What's going on here?
So I get Dex, head of Street Team, marketing. Dex had a good 50 to 100 people under him. We had that much space, and they was all in the room, and it would be like a real sweatshop. And they in there doing flyers, they're doing everything, banners, they're doing like printing up little things, little widgets for marketing purposes, because remember, the internet wasn't here.
No.
We had to do things physically. We was shipping, we was pressing up CDs and shipping them out to so many DJs across the country. We had a real manufacturing plant in our office. self-contained, doing all of this shit for our own marketing and
Bought all the
promoting
machines for
purposes.
that shit, right?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
everything. And I bring Dex in, and he ends up finding out it's this guy, Darnell Nichols. He comes in. I said, listen, this your shit? He was like, yeah. I said, you can't stay here. This ain't no home. This ain't no apartment. He said, I'm homeless. I didn't have nowhere to go. And, I'm an intern. I don't make no money. And I said, well, that's not my problem. But I see you here every day. And when I leave, he was always one of the last to leave. But now I know why. He was fronting like he left, but double right back. Wow. And come and stay in the room, in the office. And I said, and I seen him on a computer, and I said, you're good on a computer? He said, yeah. I said, all right, I'm going to give you a job, but you eat what you kill. You help me with the publishing. I run Top Dog. We do all these pub for Top Dog. I will show you what you got to do, put it in spreadsheets, and keep me organized. And every time I get a check, and we get a lot of checks, I'll throw you something. He said, okay. And that's what I did. We start working. All of a sudden, he has his own apartment, got money.
It's up.
He's up. Short amount of time, because we are popping with this fucking shit. And short amount of time, we're up, and next thing you know, he gets all these Sky-Tel pages. He became the plug. He knew how to get them from somewhere,
right,
turn them on, and he had people coming into the office to get their Sky-Tel pages turned on, basically bootleg, so they don't have to pay that monthly fee.
And back then, them fees was crazy.
Oh, yeah, because you if you went over the amount of characters in a month, you paying extra. It was totally different. It wasn't how it's unlimited today. Nah, you paid for characters in a certain amount of space. So sure enough, he gets in trouble, tells the feds, would you like to hear a story?
Oh.
And proceeds to tell on Murder Inc. He's under witness protection right now.
Wow.
I don't know where or what he's about or doing, but this is the reason Murder Inc. got, and it all coincided with all these other events that was going on. But this story's not in the doc, so I always say, man, I want to do my backstories, because the backstories is gonna make the real documentary even fuller.
You lived all that with your brother. I mean, you guys lived that. You lived that. Definitely running all the stuff you were running in the place.
Yes.
So, I mean, again, when I watch it, it brings you back, and you start to put the pieces together, and you do the quantum leap from today, and then you go back and you look at key pieces, key things that happen to get from one thing to another.
Yes.
Throughout that whole journey, they didn't believe in Irv. Like, even when Irv comes back for Ja, that's when he really starts Murder Inc. He didn't have Murder Inc. before. He's just producing.
Murder Inc., that's something that wasn't explained, but Murder Inc., if you get to the essence of Murder Inc., it wasn't formed because Irv said, hey, I want to start Murder Inc. So many people came to me and thought that he got Murder Inc. from A&E when he was watching the Gangsters.
Right.
No. And his name, Gotti, Jay-Z gave him the name. Jay-Z gave him the name. That's years before Murder Inc. was even a thought or even a possibility. Murder Inc. came because TommyMatola gave us a deal. Not because Irv said, I want a deal, but because Irv was the fucking top producer in the country. Right. That's why Tommy gave him a deal. And he said, he's talented. I want to give you a fucking record label. I don't want to buy beats from you. And then that spurred a whole bidding war between the entire industry. And it came down to Sony, which is TommyMatola, and Universal, which was Leo at the time, and Doug Morris was the chairman of Universal. So it came down to them two, and Sony had a bigger offer on the table for the deal. At the time, it's the biggest deal for a joint venture.
Wow.
So he went to Leo, and Leo said, I can't pay you that much money. My job is to keep talent at the lowest cost. Right. And he's like, he didn't want Irv to leave, but Irv's like, if you ain't fucking paying me, I'm out. And then they made a meeting with EdgarBrahman.
Oh, the cap dog.
Yeah. Again, Irv didn't tell the full story, but, that's his story to tell.
Right. So
to me, the story was he called him a fucking rum runner.
Called him a rum runner.
Irv called EdgarBrahman when he first meets him. He said, yeah, this Edgar. He said, yeah, I know who you are. He said, you made all your money. You're a fucking rum runner.
Oh,
Because he made his money from all the bootlegging, from Prohibition.
Yes.
Think about the weed companies today. It's no different for weed. It's Prohibition all over for weed.
Yeah.
So liquor, here's a guy that's a multi-billionaire, EdgarBrahman. His family made all of their money because of bootlegging liquor. Then it gets legalized and they go boom, and now they're huge. Right. You know, he also owns Seagram's, the ginger ale thing. He owns like Tropicana, you know, the orange juice. So he bought Universal. And Universal, when he bought it, is going. He credits Irv. He has credited Irv for saving his family fortune. Wow. Because the billions he was losing from Universal enters in this little guy from Howard, Queens named Irv Gotti, and it changed everything. Again, an incredible story that should be told in the documentary. I wish we'd have got an interview from EdgarBrahman because he would have said yes. Because he said it. Because after Murder Inc. does what it does and Universal becomes hot again, which is all a part of Murder Inc. If anyone understands the record industry, it's like if you're hot and you're on a label, that label has that energy behind it to now do other artists, not just your artists. And that's what Universal did. I could make arguments easily that maybe Nelly is part of the why he popped off is because of Murder Inc. I could easily make arguments to say maybe Ludacris inherited some of those favors that was Murder Inc. favors, but went to them.
Like radio stations and execs.
Everyone was broken back then. Music was all broken off radio. If anyone wants to challenge what I'm talking about, Murder Inc. was one of the biggest labels at radio. Hip-hop labels for sure. I'll go even deeper. We're at DefJam after we get the deal. We're at DefJam. Ja comes out, and all of a sudden, which is a huge story, a backstory to prove all of these things out, all of a sudden, DefJam, a rap label, is getting played at Z100, pop stations, with no money being spent, no one working the record, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then this is a huge deal. I remember Kevin Lyles coming in and going crazy, like, yo, they're playing Ja's record on fucking Z100. They never had that in their history at Def Jam before us. So all the artists prior to us, they never got this because they're a hip-hop label. They never went to pop stations. See, I'm business more than creative. Irv is the creative. But when it gets down to the business, I did my work. No one could ever tell me I didn't do my work.
Gotcha.
So at the end of the day, I challenge anyone to talk to me on that level and say I'm saying something different or wrong, because that's the facts. They hired a guy named Ken Lane. I believe the number was over $5. It was a $5 million deal. They gave Ken Lane to come in and create a pop division. Why? Because of fucking Ja Rule.
Wow.
Okay? Ken Lane came in our office and even told me he's here because of that. We should have interviewed Ken Lane. You know, these are the parts of the story that, I mean, this is dope parts of the story to me that's missing, like, to really amplify the significance and the strength of Murder Inc. and Irv Gotti as an executive, not just a hit maker.
I mean, you know, it's those eras when you look back and so many untold stories I can imagine.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, you can imagine.
You can't do it in 40 minutes. You know, we got 5 40-minute episodes.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
You can't do it. And I think that, again, I mean, I seen you in there saying your part. I think the young man you mentioned.
Darnell Nichols.
No, the young man that did the documentary.
Oh, Michael J. Payton.
Did you find him or something?
Yeah,
like
well, you know, he found me.
Okay, talk to me a little bit how. I know we interviewed him, but
man, shout out Mike, man.
Yeah.
Again,
it's kind of he's a big time fan of you guys.
He's a big fan of Murder Inc., but he's a hip hop artist himself.
Okay,
he's from Oakland. We did not know him, and he made the unofficial documentary. You could go on YouTube and watch it.
Cinematographer too, or something.
Yeah, he does all that. He got into that because rap wasn't. He didn't be. He gave an incredible story I heard just the other day about. Because he came on, I do a recap of the documentary with my man Bender World.
Oh, I think I seen
on live.
Yeah.
We do Instagram Live every Monday. Check it out. It's dope. Bender asks great questions. Bender's a friend that I met from Chicago. It's not someone I grew up with. This is someone from Chicago, and he asked me about doing something, and I said, you know, what would be dope if we did a recap. So get questions from the audience, and then I'll answer that episode, whatever episode was, and I could explain to you what everything meant or was going on at the time, and that's what we do every Monday. But he came on. We had Michael J Payton on the show this last week, and he said that he was an artist, and the reason he stopped being an artist was because he made a record that was more like a ass popping record, like, you know what I'm saying? He said it's not what he do, but he did it because that was what, you know,
the lane that's
ass down, face up, and shit like that. And he said the shit got a lot of success. And he said a young girl, I think 12 or 13, sends him the video of her popping her ass, and he said he didn't want to be part of that. Wow. And he stopped rapping after that, and then went into behind the cameras. You know what I'm saying? Filming shit. And so he makes documentaries
about
on Murder Inc. No, that's the private. That's on his OnlyFans.
No, but so he did a documentary.
So he does a documentary on Murder Inc., unofficial documentary, without knowing us or anything.
And he knocks it out the park, right?
And I get a DM from him in my Instagram, and I take a look, and it really captured me. Because it was
so he contacts you first.
Yeah. Well, he contacted Irv too.
Okay.
So I don't know if Irv got him first. So I know when me and Irv spoke, we was right there, damn near the same time.
Okay.
At the end of the day, but it lets you know we check our.
Yes.
And we're responsive to people we don't know.
Right.
Which I guarantee there's thousands of people out there that I have personally spoken to that I do not know. Tens of thousands probably. I don't fucking know. It's a lot. It's a fucking lot. So at the end of the day, I go through it. I was like, man, for someone that doesn't know us and wasn't there, he did a really good job of research. And
because there's things he knew that you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, I'm like, how did he find that out? He wasn't there, and he did his research. So me and him end up speaking, and shortly after that, him and Irv end up speaking, and Irv meets him. And
it was a wrap.
Look, after that, he's now director of the official documentary.
No, I know that's a dope
His
story.
first big real project. You know, and it's a 5-part series, so he was very versed on Murder Inc., and it was, for him, he said it was incredible for him to get all the stories firsthand from the people.
I think it's incredible how you guys are able to touch so many people's lives and help their dreams come true and have a glimmer of hope and passion. And and it was crazy. And working with you guys, it's like you guys make sure guys get their money too. You know what I'm saying? And that's important because
we all want the same thing.
Of someone getting their money is they go home, they pay their bills, they take care of their family, they eat.
That's it.
Right? So, there's things that people don't understand that you guys have done and continue to do.
Let me touch on, we always talk on our spiritual shit, with Ifa. And the day his mother passed is the day Irv called him. Wow. That's crazy. He just left his mother's, dealing with his mother's passing. Wow. And Irv called him about, come on, let me talk to you about doing this documentary. And it took years to get the documentary to this point where it's finished.
Again, we discussed that sometimes when that happens, it's that same ancestor, that same spiritual element bringing things with you. Exactly. Want to look closer to you because now they even know more of what you want. So, again, I'm just happy for him. I know, once you associate yourself, whoever associates yourselves with you and your brother and end up doing business, always ends up winning and kind of, it looks like they get more from the deal than anyone else, right? But
you eat what you kill.
Yeah, but
he's working his ass off.
Oh, I seen him. He's a great guy. It's awesome, and I just look at the overall. What that documentary is it's educating, it's empowering people at the same time from the guy creating it. But I mean, that's for you. You're in it. What do you think?
Murder Inc.'s history was always empowering people. Like I just told you about Darnell Nichols. Darnell was homeless.
Right.
I gave him a chance.
And he ran with it.
And he ran and then flipped. This is the problem with giving people opportunities because they don't always treat you right.
Wow, that's true.
So this is the flip side to doing a good deed. Here's someone that I changed his whole fucking life and made him fucking have money, and he was doing well. I mean,
he couldn't stay solid.
And he couldn't stay. He told a story that was complete fabrication. My lawyer destroyed him on the stand. But when he told it to the grand jury, when you read the transcripts of all of that, because you could get it, the grand jury stood up and applauded, telling that man how he's so brave. Wow. He said he was a veteran. He's not a veteran. Wow. He said he used to do work at these temples with the Jewish community. He never did it. He's I don't know. He has a mental problem. But the guy was incredible on computers. And that's what I used him for, and putting things together. And I did it from
some of these guys that play with these cameras and these things,
they off.
Hey, the needle don't go all the way to F for some reason.
That elevator don't reach that top floor.
They can fill up the tank all they want. It don't get to F for some reason.
But it was something, like I said, and it's sad because in my career I've helped multiple homeless. Even the guy, there's a multiple. I don't like to call people. I don't want to tell their business, but they was homeless and they're still with us to this day, doing well.
So what would you call that? Multiple homes for the homeless? No, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I'm just messing around.
Again, I never gave anyone anything but an opportunity.
Watching you at work with people, I noticed that and understanding. See, there's things that I know about you spiritually that the other person doesn't know, and kind of why you're here on the planet is like when you do things. This is what's your greatness is. There is not 1 ounce of what's in it for me.
Yeah.
What do you need? Chris, I need $5 to catch the bus. Here you go. Chris, I need an opportunity. Listen, email this person, go, hey, Chris, I want to act. How long you been acting? I've never acted. Well, get your shit together, and then I got opportunity. Like, I've always seen you advice. If you need it, I got it. If I don't have it, here's the advice. So anyone who steps in front of you on a consistent basis and
I always look at my life as keeping my karma clean.
Gotcha.
I've done crazy shit in my life. I mean, what's crazy is I'm watching the documentary. I'll give you a quick story. And they asked Irv, how'd you get your turntables? And he says, Chris or Tina gave them to me. I don't remember. Tina didn't give you the turntables. I gave them to. They're my turntables. Right. Okay? And I started trying to scratching things, and Irv just got really good.
Yeah, he was a beast.
And I just, after that day, the day it happened, I could tell you, like I remember like yesterday, baby Jermaine is walking up our driveway. Okay? That was a protege of Irv's. He was a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Shout out baby Jermaine, you know what I'm saying? And the nigga's walking up the driveway, and I see him, and I'm like, where you going? Now remember, Irv's my little brother. These are his little friends. I'm like, where are you going? My equipment's in my garage. He said right away, he looked at me, yo, Chris, don't get mad. He said, we in there DJing. And I would tell Irv, don't be in there DJing because people are going to hear it and then they'll steal it. Especially if I'm not home, right? So I rip open the garage, and Irv got all his boys in there, all his friends. He's on the turntables, and everything stopped. I said, what you doing? I told you don't be in here. You could DJ? Let me see. Ooh. And when I tell you that nigga showed me, I said, yo, I swear to you. I said, yo, keep the noise down. And I closed the garage and I left. That was the end of everything, and that was all his after that.
You can have that shit.
I wasn't trying to take, but remember, I'm Irv's big brother. What that means is if I play football, Irv played football. If I played basketball, Irv played basketball.
Also, the little bit that I know is like you, at that moment, you realize how much work he put in.
Yes.
Tell me you did.
Because I tried to.
And you're like, I
couldn't get it.
He's doing that.
No, he was doing tricks. He's spinning, in lightning quick. Bang, 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 bang. I'm like, what the fuck?
So talented.
I closed that door. I said, yo, y'all keep it down in here. I said, y'all keep it down in here.
Go get these contracts.
I'm going to go see what else I can do out here. He got that covered. Yeah. Let me get something else. But that's when I started managing them and doing things like that.
You say that in the documentary. You was like, I don't let, you had a word
it's sad for me
because I don't let any talent go to waste.
listen to me, I will give every dollar. See, a big brother's like, you say something to me all the time, and it always resonates with me. You just said it last night. You said, I never got the chance to be somebody's son.
Yeah.
Sad. But you say that. It makes me reflect. But it makes me think of Irv. He never got to be someone's big brother and what that entails. Yes. My big brother, so something when he says, Chris or Tina? No, nigga, the way I got that equipment is me and Nick,
right,
one of my best friends, get a little line on a birdie from this bitch, tells us there's some money in this crib, homie's gonna be there.
Right.
So me and Nick go in and get that, we going to get the money. Homie gets tied up. We go through the house. There's a little money there. Nothing crazy. There was supposed to be 200,000 in there. This is in the 80s, yo. What's that worth today?
2 million.
More than that.
At least 2
At
million.
least 2. What? We go in there, tie homie up, shorts. Yo, what the fuck? I'm not leaving here with nothing. That's what I tell Nick. He said, what you gonna take? The equipment. Irv, that's how I got the equipment. I just won't tell you that as a big brother. See, that's what I mean. Big brothers don't, I never wanted Irv to do anything I did.
Nah,
he talks about, you know, other people and his lot, different friends of his that I really went and banged out people with. Nah, that's my homie, but I never would tell you. Yeah. I always took care of my little brother to this day. You know what I'm saying? And that was what, when I hear that, it's like, damn, it's like, you know, when I hear these things and I sit there and I say, do I really tell him now after all this time?
Right. So is
that I really laid niggas down, nigga? Like, I really banged my gun, nigga? Like, do you really want me to tell niggas now? Like, and give you the stories and tell you who you could go check and verify with? Like, I don't feel it's needed no more. Like, and that to me is one of the hurtful things, like a big brother's pain. Right. Because you don't even represent or respect that and don't even really understand that's what really went down.
I mean, you know, again, that's still, there's a dynamic between big brother, little brother.
Of course.
I went through it with my brother.
Of course.
A lot of battles behind the scenes, a lot of ways that he looked at the world that I didn't look at the world. Yes. A lot of similarities, but a lot of stuff, especially in business. He was different. My brother's rape and pillage all day.
You always say to me, I wish, I say it about me now, I wish I had a Chris Gotti for me.
You know what I'm saying?
And you say the same. You was like, I wish I had someone like you for me, for my career when I was going. Because all I did and wanted to do for Irv was just give him whatever he needed.
If you have that one person like you, then you can understand why Irv gets to where he gets to.
Yes.
Right? When you look at even Jay's supporting cast and the ones and the things like that, I'm just saying that people you surround yourself with will take you where you at. When you have a big brother like you.
I know. Jay-Z said, make another me. It's not about that, Jay. That's not what it was about. It was about what he did for you. You understand? Dame Dash did everything for him, with him, but for him, meaning for his career, for the betterment of his life. That's what managers or real big brothers about. It's not about me. It was always, I would give Irv my last money. He wouldn't know it. He would take my car. I used to have a BMW system. He'd take it, go fuck some bitches, come back, my windows, my system's all gone, and never gave me nothing or tell me nothing about it. I would just fix it. Yo, all he could give me is like, yo, I came out, this what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because that's the difference in understanding in life basis. There's different big brothers. Because some big brothers beat their little brother's ass. I never did. I never approached Irv on that side ever. People to this day, like, I never did that with him. Because that to me isn't how I wanted to do it. We came from a family of all love. So I was never going to treat Irv or act any way. Irv has two sons, JJ and Sonny, and I tell Sonny, that's your little brother. You make sure you're doing, because I never want to see them arguing and fighting. Me and Irv never argued and fought. You understand? And I could really honestly sit there and say there's a few moments in life that we had our disagreements where, You know, one was when he was running bricks to fucking Ohio with Al, and I don't sell drugs. I never did. I might have robbed Poppy, but I never sold drugs. Me and Kali might have robbed some niggas, but I never,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
You never put that risk on.
I never did that. You know, and I was, again, Rashid, Brad. I did capers with these niggas. Real things, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, that was not my life, and I didn't want my little brother to even know about it or see that. You know what I'm saying?
You protected him from that.
Of course, like any big brother's supposed to with little brother. So that's what it was. And people come up to me, especially with the documentary,
Even
ask
though
me all these
you guys
questions.
were born in the hood, you made sure he didn't have to participate.
No.
And music was the outlet.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I think that this documentary has been necessary for our culture and for those who don't even understand it when you look back at what you guys were able to accomplish in a short period of time, though.
You know, again,
It's that window
Dinero,
that you guys
I'm
crushed
part
it.
of it, and I'm going to be very clear to everybody. I am absolutely part of building of the business with Murder Inc. with all the producers because that's what made Murder Inc. happen. Those producers.
The producers
Production.
that you would always run into. I mean, would you say it's because you were trying to help so many artists that you?
No.
I'm saying that you would run
When I
into so
first
many
started-
producers, though, that you would have
Listen to
access
me.
to
When
producers.
I searched, when I started, Irv was getting $5,000 a beat for Top Dog, and he said, "I'm not taking less." And I was managing Top Dog, so I made money every time I sold a beat. I get my piece. It's just business to me. It's just numbers.
Right.
I'm not selling enough. How am I gonna get money? So I said, I'm bringing in producers. You know, Irv can't tell me he knew Chink.
Right.
He can't do it. He can't say, "Oh, I heard Chink." No, I brought him in. I signed him. And then Chink's one of the main niggas. He can't tell me new fingers. He can't tell me new styles.
Right.
He met him after, worked with him after, but starting it's me. Say I didn't do that. You can't. And then cultivating those relationships. That's work. Because no one's ever happy. No matter what. You could give a nigga 10 million, he want 20. You give him 20, he want 50. It never stopped.
Yeah, but I think your participation in his career and in everything.
I never complained,
both
Dinero.
have
Don't let this
accomplished.
think like I'm complaining.
No,
like,
no, I never. Because it's not
what-
complaining.
This
you're
is
just saying
all,
facts.
like I said, the facts of the matter is,
It's dope because you're giving
I
us
say what I'm
insight
saying-
that's not. This is
Exactly.
the whole purpose of this. For you to say, all right, everyone. When you look at the documentary, you're in it. Everyone's in it, but it's basically Irv sitting down telling his story of what he went through it. And here you have a platform, and you're kind of saying, hey, yeah, well that stuff is true, but this also happened, by the way. And that's kind of what's dope. That's so it's
that's
never
what
a
it,
complaint.
that's why we doing this. We wanted
Yes.
to do this interview. I said, no problem, let's do it. And then, more, building out that production company is what leads to all the big record success. Irv created it with he took it, tweaks it, produces the artist. That's the real production.
Yeah.
So, and everyone was 50-50, so they got their piece. It wasn't like no one didn't get paid.
Exactly.
I seen Self talking. I'm like, come on, Self, we better than that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Irv took your beats, and no, you could have never have gotten it. Tell a full story and everything straight if you tell it. And no, you could have never got to DMX without him. You never could have got to Jay-Z. You could have never got Ja Rule without him. As simple as that. So what part does he get? So and you just a nigga from the hood. You my nigga. Self worked for me. Self-service, and I fuck with him to this day. That's my nigga. But when I hear things that's not portrayed properly, it's like, come on, you owe it better than that. Like, and then once you get these opportunities, how come you didn't take it somewhere without them? Now everyone knows self-service. Why are you still talking about when you first started, when you had no name and nothing? Your name is made off of them records. See, again, that's how you build your career, right? Those beginning steps. So once you have a name, whose fault is it now that you ain't where you think you should be? Irv wasn't stopping you no more. So that's
artists, producers, whoever. They always, when you start to realize that
the money he's making, all the money still from those records. He can't lie. I know.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Just keep it 100 and don't get into the chitter chatter. You know what I'm saying, about trying to make yourself look better. Or it's all right. The truth is better, nigga. 99% of the fucking population didn't do what you did.
I'd say.
You know, everyone can't be Puffy, Irv Gotti, Dr. Dre, Jermaine Dupri. Everyone want to shit, but nigga, go do it. No one's stopping you. No one's stopping nobody. And that's the part. I'm about you eat what you kill. So here, Irv ate and killed mad shit. I helped him. I'm in the back sniping shit. I'm giving him the bullets. He killed mad shit. He's supposed to eat. He deserved to eat. It's like all of this shit come up because of this documentary now. And I mean, I'm front line always. Everything come to me because I'm still in the street. Yeah. I'm still helping, empowering people. Irv is, I can say he's still in the street, but he's in Hollywood. He's in Atlanta. He's doing movie shit. He ain't got time to run around like I do. My business is out here. Yeah. My Clash TV. I'm streaming all the games, all the basketball games, street ball games. I'm in all the hoods doing this shit. Empowering people. Adventure music. I'm doing tours in every hood. Empowering people. So I have to be here. So when people talk about it, I got to give you what it is.
I mean, again.
And like he want to say, these are my truths. But I challenge anyone to question any of this. Yo, hold on. I challenge anyone. I'll pull up anyone that I'm saying and let them tell their side. And I could sit there and say, did this not happen? Did that not happen? Everybody was working for Murder Inc. was brought in, and I signed everybody's check.
You was there.
No, the case, I'm facing 20 years. Why am I facing 20 years? If it's not me. You tell me. It's not me. Why am I facing 20 years? Who does that? I had to be inside of something. Yep. Don't give me the bad credit and don't give without giving me good credit. That I'm not accepting. I reject your fucking deposit. If I could be that nigga for the bad shit, when the good shit hits, make sure I'm something too. Yeah. Fuck out of here. You understand? That's the part that I'm talking about. And I got to deal with it. And niggas, no one cares. No one cares. What am I doing? Here, I love the documentary. Every episode's been fire.
No.
These backstories is what makes Murder Inc. That's why it's Murder Inc. Yeah. I just told nigga last night, I said everyone, John and Irv used to make fun of me because I fucked with Terror Squad. With Pun, God bless the dead. You know what I'm saying? I was there at the wake and everything when he passed. And Joe. You know what I'm saying? And I went right in. I was like, nigga, they used to make jokes. You Terror Squad. Because I would run around with them. I said, no, nigga, I'm Murder Inc. And there's nothing that could change that. And now I'm adding in another affiliate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know people always going to talk.
I know. Again, Dinero, this is crazy.
You know, when you're in the spotlight, when you have all that fame, all that money, there's a different life that you're playing the game of life at a different level.
You know, for me, when I seen a lot of it, there's certain things my man Ever touched on. And I'll say it. He was like, "Where's your name?" I said, "That's Irv's production, his BT. They did it."
Yeah, as far as
the only thing I told Sausage, shout out Sausage and Darcel, there's no way I shouldn't have been a fucking consultant. Right. Irv can't talk about the trial except for being in the trial.
Right.
So you could talk about what happened in the trial. Yes, he was physically there, but anything other than that, the crux of how come we're free, that didn't happen inside of the trial, inside of that room, the courtroom, it's only me. Tina helped with paperwork, but she wasn't sitting next to me when I'm with the lawyers. I went to every motion hearing. She didn't come. And Tina did a ton. So when I say that, I'm like, how could someone talk about it and don't call me? Right. And it's me. You know, we was up on this shit together. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just Irv. It was me. And that's the part that when I sit here, I said, nigga, I gave my life for this shit and I get nothing in return. Meaning I don't get the credit. Like right. when they're documenting, when credit. Someone is documenting that life story, that body of work, and then you don't get that acknowledgement or credit, it's not cool. When I did it, who did it? Irv, you was producing, nigga. Like you supposed to. I did what I'm supposed to do as a big brother and the nigga that was running the company.
You did your part.
I'm making sure my little bro is safe and good. I ain't had no complaints. I never was mad. You never see me sitting there saying no. The tone you hear right now is because the being left out of. It's like, damn, that's disrespectful. And if anyone knows me, I live and die with respect. Yeah. he knows of all, most of all. I live and die with respect. So this is something that was very serious for me. Again, and I'm cool. I made cool with it, but it's like it's fucked up in other senses when I see others that wasn't part of murdering front like they murdering. Don't front on me. You could do that to Irv. Don't front with me, please. Por favor. You know what I mean, Ev?
I think that the documentary was necessary. It's empowering. It's nostalgic. You get an idea of not just Irv's accomplishments, but what everyone went through. And I think now you got these episodes coming up, the last few ones that are going to get deeper.
Man,
more stuff.
I think that, again, because we don't know when this airs, I don't know what'll be out, but
most likely
I didn't
all of
see all the episodes, and right now, as we're shooting this, today is episode 4 at 9 o'clock. This is where it's Tuesday today.
Yes.
I know I'm not supposed to do that, but it is Tuesday.
That's okay. This will get
everyone knows that these are tape recordings, so this is
if you didn't know, now you fucking know.
Yeah, now you know. We was never live. If it's live, I can't do that. But tonight the episode comes out Tuesday. Live, we're out on every Tuesday, but you go to bt.com, go watch it.
You're watching this and you thought this was live, seek help.
Yeah, seek help.
Please. This book can't help you.
I'm going to tell you, shout out this book, The Formula, bilingual book.
Shout out my brother
written by
Chris
Don
Gotti,
Dinero.
Man, one of the best human beings on this planet.
You know what I mean?
And he's Murder Inc. is another great example of him helping his brother create his dream and go along the ride with him
Listen to me.
And we sit here today and he's still building his brand.
His brand, visionary ideas, amazing.
Yes, amazing. And
all I do is support.
Chris has plugged me in so much with his brother to do anything, do his Latin. And he's got Irv coming to me say, don't worry, we're going to do Latin this, Latin that. So I'm extremely grateful for you, Chris, and who you are.
You.
And you know, again, you know, this is another part of the evolution of your family.
Yes, family first.
To be able to take, after 20 years, to take this document. And then there's a lot more things that are going to come going forward. And at the end of the day, I would tell you this. You know, all your credit and everything you deserve is coming.
Absolutely.
You know, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And I just don't mean in this situation. I mean going forward, just in the game of life in general. You know, like I tell you, there's one. I don't say this in the book, but I do say this when I speak. The whole objective in life is that when they finally throw dirt on your box, is anyone going to hang a picture of you on their wall?
I'm sure.
So if they're gonna hang a
my
picture,
daughter better.
What I mean is that
Crystal, you better.
I think what you've done is even greater because of the legacy you have left.
Yeah.
But the average human being, that is your true goal: to be kind enough and love enough people that when you pass away, for them to remember you, they'll have a picture in their house of you to say, "Hey, so and so was here."
Yes.
Because you know, last thing, you know, when you do pass away, and I talk about death because it's
life.
You fear it, but it's just another portal. It's just another evolvement, right? We are spirits having a human experience. And when we die and you sit on your deathbed, if you're lucky enough to be on your deathbed surrounded by your family and go over your life like we're doing, you were only here on this planet for 5 minutes. Right. If you live to be 100, you would only have 5 minutes worth of memories. Things that you'll remember. Sure, when I was born, okay, I did this at 5. I remember when I hit my first baseball. Those are things that stay engraved in your head. You get what I'm saying? So
I might have more than 5
This life is short.
Yeah.
But it's sweet. Life is hard, but it's worth it. Right? So I tell everyone, continue. Look what this family has been able to do by sticking together. And there's trials and tribulations, Chris. They're about to see segments of when them Federukis came, a lot of shit changed, you know? So,
yes, sir.
So, you know, again, I'm super proud and honored to be around you and the entire family, and I know what's coming. And,
you know, I appreciate that. And I just want to, like, I wish with the documentary, I mentioned this just the other day with some people who was talking to me. And, of course, it was about Ashanti. And with Irv and everything. And I let him know all my brother did was confess his real feelings and everyone else is feeling away. And I said, that's not fair to him.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the interview. And when all of this talk started going around, I had to go listen to the interview.
Right.
Really listen to the interview. And I didn't hear nothing wrong. And I'm probably one of the most impartial, non-biased person you're going to meet. Brother or no brother, if he's wrong, I always tell him that's bullshit or whatever. I didn't hear nothing wrong. I heard a man that had a relationship, that he really loved somebody, that hurt him.
Right.
Again, and when I think of Ashanti, she did like the Star. She got a star in the Walk of Fame out in L.A. and everything. And I kept seeing that, and Ja was there, and I kept saying, it's not right. It's not right. Irv should be right there. And she can't, the truth, I always say another saying, I say facts are facts. You can't bend or change the reality of what things are. And no matter how much you want to switch it to your version, your way, it is what it is.
It's crazy, though. You could see it in the documentary.
Yeah.
The story of without, I don't get it twisted.
No, I wish she would have that's what I was getting to. I wish she would have put her version and did her interview. She did an interview with Angie Martinez and talked about it. Why not do the documentary and represent your version so no one could say nothing? It's 20 years later. It's like, Ashanti and me are really cool. That's Bon. That's like little sis.
I just
to
feel
this
when
day.
I see the things that I said, I just two people that were in love.
Yeah. And it was volatile. Both sides.
Great music at the same time. Created a movement. No, both sides. That's why she don't want to talk about it.
I know.
Because at the end of the day, the truth is, I
was their therapist.
She knows that how much love was there. Irv has his version, and it's usually like that. There's two versions, then there's what you consider the truth.
Right. No, right? I get it. Again, I make the analogy.
When it comes to two people who love, you don't get nowhere involved.
But I break down when people tell me a story, if that's their story, I never knock their story.
Never.
That's what they seen. If we go to a basketball game and we're watching Ja Morant play in Memphis, we're at the same game. We're sitting on the floor. We're watching the game. I'm watching Ja Morant's, or you're watching Ja Morant's. I'm watching all the screens he's running through. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's life. That's why we never see things eye to eye. That's why we have two different versions. We're watching the same game, but I'm looking at something different, and you are too.
They say when you fall in love, I'm going to hit you with some stuff. So when you fall in love and say you don't continue that journey of love and you go your separate ways for whatever, you never truly unlove the person. You just move on.
Yeah.
And when I see the Ashanti and the Irv situation, I just see two people that have had no choice but to move on, but probably to this day, that energy of love is always going to be there. You can't. It's just the way we're wired as human beings.
Yeah, he asked me to approach her and let her know, like, he would make a TV show. He's in a great position now. She wanted to do a movie. I'll never talk about you again. Right. This is probably 2 to 3 weeks before the Nori interview comes out.
The thing dropped.
To which was...
She said no. Afterwards.
She said it was nothing. She doesn't want to be involved with him no more. Because that's for her own inner peace, she said. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, for me to tell her he's not going to talk about you no more, and then this interview hits, it's kind of crazy for me.
See, if he's not going to talk about me anymore, like if this is not talking about me, then what is? Again, your brother has mentioned before that he's made mistakes with his mouth and the things he said. And, he admits that. That takes big time.
That's what I said.
That takes balls. I've seen even the documentary.
It takes balls to say I loved her.
Of course. And
that's why I said I didn't see nothing
wrong. And I was
wrong.
having a conversation with him a few hours ago, right? and one of the things I told him, and I said that I found myself that I had with the business.
Yeah.
And because I remember when you first met me, you was like, man, you could be as big as you want. And I was like, the business, I was a little too real for the business. I didn't understand the politics. And then my brother, when he goes his own separate way, I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with these fake motherfuckers. Niggas are going to tell me one thing, go left. I grabbed my shit. By 2007, I was about 6. I had a nice 5-year run. I took my shit and was like, when the joint venture was over, the joint venture lasted a year and a half. I gave him my 2 albums in less than a year and a half because I realized there's no way these people
keep going.
And when in hindsight, I should have never done the joint. That's really what fucked my career up, dealing with the majors, which was crazy. But anyway, that's a whole different ballgame. Because it was so early. It's not like I jumped on a hip hop label that knew how to move me. I jumped on a label when I walked in there.
They want you to do.
Hey, I need to hire the Cali Kings
to
put out flyers and give away CDs. They said, give away CDs. Remember, in Hip Hop Week, we give it away. Sure. They're coming from Mark Anthony. They
didn't have a clue.
Spanish pop.
Yeah.
Straight from the fucking, the engineer mixes the record, you take it straight to the program director. You don't work the record. When I told them I need money for flies, I need a $50,000 budget for California, they didn't understand that.
Yeah.
They was like, damn, he's gonna glom too much.
Yeah, he's stealing.
They were used to glomming. So
this guy just wants to steal.
Right, so, I went through my headaches, but what I meant by that is when I realized, so I was telling him, and I was like, some of his situations he's had with the industry is that he's a little too real.
Yeah.
You see the documentary, he says what he, and then I said,
people are not used to that.
You could take these, no, they're not used to this. And I went through this too. You tell him what's gonna happen. I told him Pana Pana's gonna be the shit. See, when Irv goes through that, I went through it when my brother was dealing with the execs, giving him Pana Pana, and he'd come home and throw the CD and said they said no one's gonna play it. You're cursing on the record. It's Spanish hip hop. The radio stations are tropical. You need to do a salsa record.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, it's gonna work. Just get. I'm telling you, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're lost. They're up there drinking fucking. Right? And I'm doing so. I understand what he's right. And then my brother's saying, no, go get a job. You're gonna have to get a job. And then he gets me the 10-minute interview in the morning show because we were buzzing in the streets. We were giving CDs. Sure. So I look at those stories and I was telling him, I was like,
so similar.
You are. No, I understood. I said, but the difference he had, you had certain buffers, but you are to this day. You see it. That's the Drink Champ situation.
Yeah,
you see it that you are brutally honest.
He's a master manifester, like you say.
You are brutally honest.
Yes.
And you tell people what's going to happen, and they think you're crazy because you're bragging before it happens.
And then it
happens, and you shit on them. Yeah. No, because I told you so. Don't. Right, I told you so, blah blah blah, and you see it in when he tells Leo after Leo says, we do another album. That when Lyor Cohen when he comes back, the documentary's dope. When he comes back and he tells him, you don't say shit.
Yeah,
you don't know nothing anymore. So I think that's where
you're gonna end it right there.
No,
you don't say shit.
Nah,
and you don't know nothing.
Nothing, man. And I think that thank you for everything, your contributions to the whole.
Of course. Thank you.
I would say not.
The documentary's fire, man.
Fire. Go check it out. And Tales is out also at the same time.
Of course, Tales is out. Fire. I'm getting all the calls from people inside. They're saying that inside right now with the documentary and Tales back to back, the TV room is fucking loaded. Everyone's there watching. When it's a commercial, they go get their whatever and come right back.
Yeah.
He said, and then after that, they all talking. So all the homies that's inside behind that wall, they call me, man, hold your head. They all tell me that, yo, you making me bigger in here right now because everyone's trying to fuck with them because they know they fuck with me or they fuck with Irv or whatever. Right. So it's pretty big right now.
Yeah, nah, it's a blessing, man.
It's a blessing. So I want to just say thank you. Great another episode. Make sure you get this book. Make sure you go cop the formula. This is something that will help improve your life. I promise you. Written by Don Dinero, no one other than Don Dinero.
Definitely.
Short read, quick read, and there's animation that will be on YouTube. You'll be able to go get it, watch it,
and
everything.
The spoken word book.
And the spoken word.
Audiobook will be on all digital platforms. You could work out. You could.
That's right.
You'll listen to the lessons.
So, this is Chris Gotti, Lorenzo. We're giving them the business and my partner, Don Dinero.
Hey, go all out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and thank you for your love and your support.
And share.
Sweetie.
Sharing is caring.
Always.
We out.